Imagine you have a 64 steps to accomplish almost every day to build the dream life abroad. This is not just a theory, this is actually a method called the Harada Method used by a famous Japanese athlete. And on this video, I'm gonna share with you how you can apply this method to build your dream life abroad. I've been created on this channel a whole framework that help you build your dream life abroad. I call it the Dream Life Abroad framework. This framework is a 1-hour video that you can check, and I will put the link where you will be able to plan, to design, build and enjoy your dream life abroad. So you have within this framework a methodology based on the product life development, the full cycle product life development applied to building your dream life abroad. In a lot of different video, I go over some of the methodology or tool, such as the readiness assessment, the Harada method, the wheel of life, the 10-year plan, but also the audit destination, the 90-day plan before you move. So in this particular video today, I want to target the Harada method, which is a method that I've recently started using, and I think it can be very helpful for people that likes to be very detailed. I will make a video as well on how I use my 10-year plan combined with the wheel of life, and this is the primary tool that I've used over literally the past 7 years, and it have worked quite efficiently, but I think now the Harada method offered a more targeted method, and the 10-year plan offer a more holistic method. Stay tuned and I will go over the method step by step. So first of all, the Harada method, it's a method of self-reliance. Basically, this is also very important in general when you want to achieve your dream life, whether abroad or whatever you want to achieve. It's important to take full ownership of your life and not thinking about, okay, something isn't fair, or you're starting with less resources than someone else. You really have to work towards your success only based on yourself. Like, you rely on yourself, on what you can control. You should really focus on what you can improve, and that usually is enough to really push the luck and to really align everything. So this is one of the really big foundation of the method. So this method was really popularized by the Japanese baseball athlete called Shohei Ohtani, where he was a Japanese player and wanted to become literally a baseball superstardom, and he really succeeded in that, and his method of the Harada method became very popular. First of all, the Harada method comes with a set of 33 questions. You will do a sort of assessment. So the method, you go over all of the different set of questions, and from that you are able to draw a little bit of, it's almost like a gap analysis, where you are able to understand what are your weakness, what are your strengths. So in those 33 questions, those are actually topics that you have to go through, and you will give yourself a score from 0 to 10. So I will show exactly what are the different ones. So there's 33, so that's quite a lot. So you will have accountable, adaptable, authentic, brave, capable, caring, confident, creative, determined, empowered, ethical, flexible, highly honest, imaginative, independent, innovative, inquisitive, inspired, knowledgeable, motivated, organized, personable, prepared, proactive, realistic, responsible, mannered, strategic, strong-willed, supportive, trustworthy, visionary. So you have 33 different section, and I think it's quite difficult, but you have to give yourself a kind of rank of 0 to 10, and from that you will be able to find what are the area where you might lack, or maybe you are also able to find areas where you are very, like, this is your strength. For example, if you're someone that you are very responsible, so that's really good to know for you that you can take on project because you are responsible. But if you're responsible and you're not organized, that's something that, okay, you have to think about, like, how does it work for you? So once you have those questions and those answered, you are able to think about, okay, what is my goal? And within this whole like aspect, what would be the skills that I need to master to reach that goal? One thing that I'm really struggling with is consistency. And when I use the method is that I really have to find ways to improve my consistency. So that is one element that is fully upon me. Like, I am the one that decide to be consistent and that do all of the different steps to become consistent. So this will be part of your bigger goal. Second aspect, that now that you have done the different questions, and then you can also go over the long-term goal setting, you will come up with, in the center of this big plan, you will have your main goal. So once you have this and you have your long-term goals, and for me, I don't 100% base my long-term goal from this analysis, but it helps me, this analysis, to understand, okay, what am I missing? And finally, from those 8 different goals, you will have your other sub goals of 8 goals for each of the 8 goals. That in total will give you 64 sub goal or sub habit or sub task to do. Remember, you have your main goal, then you have 8 sub goals that will support that, and for each of those sub goals you have 8 individual tasks. And I think that's the genius part of it, because now you cannot say you are, I don't know, you don't know what to do. I think I will take the example of pole dance. So I love pole dance and I really want to be able to become really good at pole dance and maybe at hill pole dance. So what do? Is that I put my main objective, right? But if you want to be good at that, what do you need? First, you need let's just put, like, you need the physical strength. So that's one goal. You need the technicality of the pole move. That's another goal. So, right, you are already at 2. Then you need a flexibility. That's a third one. You need maybe better musicality if you need to follow the rhythm, the music. You need also to have a really good body composition, because that's going to help you as well to increase your performance. And then maybe you need to start to get to explore different methods, so different teachers, so different style. Like, there is so many aspects of becoming one person that you need. It's just in different areas. And then if, for example, consistency is one of my issue, consistency can be a goal by itself. And how I'm gonna achieve that consistent training is by, I don't know, like waking up early, or like dedicating a weekend, every weekend, that time for a practice. And that is like by, making sure that to have this task, I need maybe to do other things, right? So those are all of the elements that you'll have to think about on how you're gonna accomplish that bigger goal. So for me, that is one of the best exercise that you can do if after you've done the readiness assessment and then you don't really like the method of the 10-year plan because that seems like unbearable for you. You can come up with the Harada method. There is actually not so much of a time frame. You can put a time frame in it. You can decide for yourself, but at least you have this kind of trend of like, okay, this is what I'm doing all the time, every week, every month. And you cannot be lost because you have everything that you need to do, everything that you need to accomplish. It is clear. You've decided that. You can always adjust if you see that one goal is not really helping. One sub goal is not helping the like medium goal. If the medium goal is not helping the bigger goal. So that was a little bit how to do that. That's like the first planning. It is also recommended to have a kind of like routine checker or like a routine checklist. Like, it is important that the Harada might seem a little bit overwhelming, but actually those tasks are not to be done every day. they are to be spread out, and maybe some task you will start later on, but at least you will have them part of the framework. Ideally, you like to have a set, I think 5, right, 5 goals that you kind of currently working on. If you take the approach of having maybe daily goals and weekly goal, you can adjust that. For example, you can have a daily goal of, I don't know, sleeping at 10 a.m. Sleeping before 10 p.m. That can be a daily goal, right? So that's like one of your 5 goals. And maybe walking more, right? Let's say those are your daily goals. But then you can have a weekly goal of like, okay, I want to do 1 cardio session. So I want to improve my cardio. And to improve my cardio, what I need to do is that I need to do the Norwegian 4x4. Like it's a specific training to improve your VO2 max. So to improve my VO2 max, I will do that, right? And that is going to be part of your weekly checklist. So you have a daily checklist, a weekly checklist for your routine, and that's going to really help you. The method also recommends to have a diary. So I've been using, where is that? So I bought like a planner. I'm not going to share more about what's in there, but I really hate journaling. I always think it's not for me. I don't like it. I think it's so much, but I've decided to use journaling different ways. So the way I use journaling is that when I go through like a difficult time, then I would write down things, right? And if you follow the Harada method, every time you fall off track, you can really analyze, okay, what has happened? Has this happened before? What are the plan? What I can do to kind of get back on track? I've also tried, I'm doing a challenge now with a nutrition coach that I had in the past. And what we do is that we have a kind of set of questions that I can answer in the morning and a different set in the evening. And what I do usually is that actually I just write 1 or 2 words. Like I really want to just to take the time to think. It's like, you know, for example, in the evening, like, what do you feel grateful about? Oh, I feel grateful about like I can walk. Sounds really weird to say that, but yeah, if you've been sick and you've been like in your bed for like I don't know, 2 days, then you might feel very grateful about that. And those are things, that tiny things that kind of help you build up your confidence of like, okay, I'm moving forward. The most important things, and that is also across. You might also wonder, what is the goal of this Harada method in the Dream Life Abroad framework? The goal is that to be able to move abroad and have this dream life, you have to become someone different. A lot of time that's the case. You have to improve different areas of your life. You can do that through the 10-year planning that I'm gonna also make a video about, but you can also do that in terms of the Harada method, because we have this method that Otani used to become that a local player in Japan, to become that superstar, and he's able to basically rank like as a superstar in different areas, because he really took this whole approach of like, how do you become that? So this is his long-term goal. Your long-term goal can also be like, okay, I want to be, let's say you want to work in that like field, so I want to work in biotech in Japan, let's just put it like that, right? So that is a long-term goal, but that implied so many other things. It implies obviously the move abroad, like the financial part, but it implies the technical part. It implies the language part. It implies as well that you have the cultural background in terms of, okay, are you able to navigate working with a Japanese company if that's your goal? So having a long-term goal, that will be the center of the Harada. From that, you have 8 different goals. They would spread around. Any personal improvement, personal development, whatever you want to call it, is that if you consistent improvement, like small incremental consistent improvement, is better than just kind of working hard one day and then slacking off for the rest of the month, right? Like simple. So this is one method that you can use to accomplish to help you build your dream life abroad. As I mentioned, I have the readiness assessment, but I also have my full framework that really walk you through the different things. The Harada method is also mentioned there, like a very short segment. And what I'm gonna do is that all of the short segment that I've mentioned something, I will make a more in-depth video about it, because there's so much to talk about on those topics, and I'm very passionate about it. I really like it. I'm a life planner. Like I don't plan my holiday, so I go on a holiday kind of like when I do solo trip, I just don't plan it. I just kind of go with the flow. But in terms of life planning, I'm crazy and obsessed about life planning. So I think that's very fun things to also experiment with, but also to share with other people how I did it and how I'm still doing it. So yeah, follow if you're very interested in getting to know the other assessment that you can do and the other exercise that you can do to build your dream life abroad. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.